welcome to Arts Avenue with Angela. Let me tell you a little bit about Arts Avenue. Arts Avenue gives artists in different genres an opportunity from wherever they are, whether they are dancers, singers, actors, whatever performing art that they have, a forum to talk about their art. So this is an avenue for those artists to actually be able to come in and talk to us about what's going on with them. So tonight we have Chris Henry. He's a great guitarist here again at Ferneau's in Hillcrest in Little Rock, Arkansas. So we're going to take a moment to talk to him about what he's doing, what's happening with him, what inspires him. And so I'm going to bring Chris on now. Hey Chris, what's happening?
Jamming out, that's about it.
All right. I heard you out there, and I want to say your music to me sounds real bluesy, okay? And it has a little, maybe a little country and western. But can you explain to the audience kind of what your background is as far as music is concerned?
Well, I wouldn't say bluesy or country and western at all, either way, but that's okay.
That's okay. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. Well, I went to school for guitar. I did jazz guitar in school, and then I played with a band for a long time. And whenever we split up, I was coming out to play these shows and trying to fill in the background noise. I started looping stuff so I could loop beats and like rhythm guitar, and then loop a bass line and whatnot, and then do lead over it. So I don't know. It's kind of more of like the jammy kind of jam bandy rock thing.
Okay, more rock. Kind of
jam band, kind of rock.
Kind of jazzy rock. Okay, so we're gonna come up with a new hook this time. So we're gonna say jazzy rock for Chris Henderson over here. Okay, Chris Henry. I keep saying sorry about that. Chris Henry. So Chris, tell me, how long have you been playing?
16 years.
Wow, that's a long time. Do you always play alone, or do you play with local bands?
I used to play with other local bands and whatnot, but just recently I've been just doing the solo acoustic thing, looping and whatnot. So.
Okay, that sounds really, really great. Now, do you travel abroad, or do you do things around here in Little Rock?
Here in Little Rock, and also like up to Fayetteville or Tulsa or Memphis, but mostly here in Little Rock for now.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So tell me, who inspires you? Who inspired you when you were coming up? Let's start with that first.
Well, I mean, like my favorite band in the world, Humphreys McGee, and you can check them out at humphreys.com, by the way. They're awesome. They're based out of Chicago, and they've got two of just like the best lead guitarists, and that's Jake Sininger and Brendan Bayless. So I've been following those guys for about 10 years now, and I also got into Keller Williams with his whole looping thing. So I kind of tried to mix some of the Humphrey style stuff with the Keller Williams looping and whatnot. But I mean, before that, it was the same old basics that everybody's going to say, you know, Jimi Hendrix and whatnot. I grew up on just listening to all those great guitarists. So.
Great, great. I'm glad you shared that with us. Now, I hear you talking a lot about this looping. So you tell our listening audience real quick, you know, if you can, what exactly looping is.
It's pretty much live recording. I've got a pedal where you hit record, and it starts recording what you're playing, and then as soon as you hit it again, it repeats what you just did. So then you can loop other tracks on top of that. It's pretty much just multi-layering tracks, but doing it live. So I mean, there's no room for mistake. It's just multi-layering tracks live, pretty much. So.
Wow, that sounds exciting, and it sounds real high tech. Is that something that you learned on your own?
Not really. I mean, you just kind of mess around with enough pedals, and then you end up stumbling onto one. So that was.
Okay, great. So real quick, Chris, what's in the future for you? What do you see yourself doing in the future? Is this local thing? Or are you trying to go national? What are you trying to do?
Pretty much, either way, I'm okay, just as long as I'm playing music. It's not, couldn't be the end of the world. I like my job. I get to play music 3 or 4 nights a week, so.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So what do you do to kind of relax and kick back? I know you love your music, but what kind of also do you do to kind of kick back?
I like disc golf whenever I can, but also kayak. I'm into disc golfing and kayaking. So if I'm not playing guitar somewhere, I'm disc golfing or kayaking.
What is it called again?
Disc golf.
Disc golf. Yeah. Okay. Chris.
It's golf with a frisbee.
Golf with a frisbee. I'm like loving this. I'm like learning so much here. So golf with a frisbee.
Yeah, it's disc golf.
Okay, so you got Angela over here kind of stumped on that one. So do you do that here in the city?
Yeah, there's a few different spots, like Burns Park, not too far from here, has a 36-hole course, so it's easy to get to, yeah.
Okay, so you heard it here first, guys. It's called again?
It's disc golf.
Disc golf. Golf with a frisbee. Chris Henry, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, playing the best guitar here in Hillcrest at Ferneau. We appreciate you being here, Chris. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you, darling. And come and see him. Thank you very much. Arts Avenue with Angela.